With David Ochoa on the bench last night in Cincinnati with RSL, Evan Finney got his first professional start in goal. Douglas Martinez, a late scratch against New Mexico, and Tate Schmidt, on assignment from RSL, also returned to the starting lineup. San Antonio FC have always been a bit of a bugaboo for the Monarchs, and the first 20 minutes seemed to follow in line as Brian Gomez almost single-handedly put a couple of easy shots past Finney to give San Antonio a quick 2-0 lead. In the 7th minute, Gomez intercepted an errant pass across the back, and then in the 17th a perfect pass from Walter Restrepo put Gomez in on goal, and he finished into an empty net after dribbling past Finney. The Monarchs had several good looks and forced a couple of saves from the bearded SAFC goalkeeper Matt Cardone, but San Antonio had pulled back into a 5-man defensive line when they were without the ball. The first half ended without any change in the scoreboard, but it quickly became apparent that Martin Vasquez had decided to go all out for points, as both Kyle Coffey and Master Catcher went through an extensive warm-up while the rest of the team was in the locker room. With the addition of Coffey and Catcher, the Monarchs went to 4 high-attacking players at the start of the second half and found a quick reward. James Moberg was pulled down in the box on a set-piece in the 48th minute, and Mikhail Chang converted to bring the match back to 2-1. The game started to become very chippy and tempers were lost on both sides. This culminated when Coffey was cut down from behind in the box and Jack Blake tied the match at 2-2 with a nice PK. Following subsequent yellow cards to Michael Nahoud and Walter Restrepo of San Antonio and Jordan Pena of the Monarchs, and the ejection of San Antonio head coach Darren Powell, things settled down as both sides pushed for a go-ahead goal. It was the Monarchs who struck first, as a nice cross from Douglas Martinez found the head of Kyle Coffey, who sent it home for the 3-2 lead. The Monarchs then shifted in a much more defense posture with the substitution of Conrad Plauer and managed to hold fast for the victory. After the match, head coach Martin Vasquez summed up the comeback as follows: "All week after New Mexico, we talked about responding. I thought we had a bad game against New Mexico. We started off well and ended up learning from that moment, for that game. We started off not flat but making individual mistakes. A couple of personal mistakes, and we down 2-0. After the 2-0, or even before, we were getting chances. If at halftime we put one in, it's maybe fair to say that it's a 2-1 game. But after halftime, when we made a couple changes, we talked about keeping the momentum that we ended the first half with. That happened, and there was still a lot of game to play. Patience. We settled the game down, we got our chances, and took them well. The 3 points is a recognition or a reward for the response that they had. The Monarchs travel to Austin for the first match with expansion side Austin Bold next Friday, April 26th. Let's block ads. Why?